Welcome to Grow My Etsy Shop podcast, the drips of knowledge you need to start growing. Hey, welcome. So I am currently in Antigua, Guatemala. I'm in a casita, so that you think of like Encanto, where like all the rooms are it's like a hotel kind of thing, and then there's like a main courtyard, but it's all one house, if that makes sense. So I'm currently in my courtyard. I don't know what you're going to hear because I've heard in fact, this morning there was an earthquake. So there has been lots of drama in my little courtyard at the moment. So hopefully it's a clear podcast for you. So today we're going to be talking about some business advice that I'm just going to give for Etsy shop owners. I have a list of 10 things I want to talk about here. So I'm going to actually jump into the hook because that's going to be where the YouTube video starts, and then we'll go from there. Etsy is a jungle, and it can be difficult to scale. But if you know what you're doing and you have a formula that you can follow, this could be really helpful for your growth. So I'm going to share with you the 10 things that I believe Etsy sellers should know and be doing in their Etsy shop to be able to see the actual dollar signs fill their bank account. The first 3 things on my list really are for the people who haven't quite gotten over the curve yet. So if you're on Etsy and you feel like you're in a struggle and you're trying to get into a spot where you're seeing more consistency to your store, these 3 principles are going to be really worth something to you. So number 1 is you need to change your mindset right now. I already know it. It's that you're trying to make money on Etsy. Stop. It's not going to work. Why? Because you are looking at stores that have trust, that Etsy likes, that Etsy promote, that Etsy knows is going to work, that consumers can look at and be like, oh, this is a trustworthy store. And I'm using the term trust, and I don't want you to think that I'm saying it like you're not trustworthy. What I'm saying is the algorithms are going to promote here's the best way I could say it. Etsy doesn't care how much money you make. They care about how much money they make. And their money comes from happy customers. So they're going to promote the stores that they know have a good experience and that people like to buy from. So if you're priced and trying to chase those stores that have earned that trust, you're not going to beat them. The way you beat them is that you earn trust to your shop first. So price and work accordingly, that your priority is sales, not money. Okay? In the beginning, we're going to change that. Don't worry. But in the beginning, I want you to be really excited when you get a sale and be less worried about the money that's coming in and out of your bank account. This is going to be a really successful way for you to grow. Okay? Because then this bleeds into number 2. And number 2 is customers don't know you exist. You need to have those 2 mindsets. Number 1 is I need customers. And number 2 is they don't know I'm here. Because this is going to change your focus. What so many shops think is like, as soon as I'm on Etsy, I'm under a spotlight. And every mistake and everything that I'm doing is all going to be recorded into the books of Etsy gods. And no. No one knows you exist. Nobody. And so if I came to you with one problem, which is no one knows you exist, what do you believe the answer is going to be? Well, I need to get people to know that I exist. Now, this can go down a completely different podcast here because we could talk about the importance of being remembered. The purple cow is what this is known as, meaning that when you could see a field of cows and they can all look a certain way, but when you see a purple one, it stands out. It's important that your shop is rememberable because every person who comes to your store, you want them to have some sort of imprint of who you are. And this comes from being a rememberable store. But I'm going to shortcut this for you. Advertise. I believe in the power of advertising. The more I do and involved in Etsy and I'm working with shops, the more I can see that you can get data really quick through ads. And when you're doing that, you're solving one of your biggest problems, which is visibility. And so as you start to push something and it gets more visible, you start to learn more, which brings me into number 3. The third thing on my list, there you go, is customers solve your problems. Okay, customers solve your problems. This means the more customers you get, the more you learn what it is that they want. And you start to tweak what this is. There's this great, I call it the flying toy effect. It's just coined by Jered, so you're welcome. Feel free to use it. It's when you have a reality that you believe is going to work well in business or in life or relationships or whatever, and you believe it. And there's nothing wrong with what you're thinking. It's your reality. But as soon as you see the commercial, now the flying toy effect is a Buzz Lightyear reference when he sees the commercial and Buzz it's like not a flying toy. And then he's like, oh my gosh. And then he pushes his button and he goes to fly and he falls and all that stuff. He received a new version of reality that changed his reality. Customers do the same thing for your Etsy shop. You think you know what they want. You think because you've researched or seen what other people are selling that you know what they want. But the truth is you don't. Customers will tell you what they want. And when they do, you become more valuable. And when you're more valuable, you can charge more for your services. Let me place this in your mind really quick. People aren't buying a product from Etsy. They're buying something that you make or curate from Etsy. So this means you're the skill that they're buying. You. And so because you're the skill, you need to improve your skill. How do you improve your skill? Through repetition of something. So if you want to get better at anything, swimming, you just swim more. You will get better at it, right? Customers allow you to get better at what you do, which improves the skills that you have, which allows you to be able to charge more for your products. So you can see where we're going with this. Actually, number 4 falls right under 1 through 3 as well. So I want to clip this in here. Number 4 is that the hardest thing in your business is the skills that you don't have. So business is a scary thing. It's hard to grow. It's hard to scale until you've done it. Then you're like, oh, I know how to do this. And suddenly this is easier for me. This means that you can work at volume better. You understand what it means to scale because you've sold things in the past. You've fulfilled things in the past. You've learned from your customers. And now you have this skill set that you can charge more for. So that is actually number 4. So it's going to be 5 through 7 is going to now move into the next tier of Etsy shop sellers. All right. So number 5 through 7 are going to be very much focused on the Etsy seller that has some sales, is profitable with what they're doing, but they're just trying to get into that next section of their business. I'm going to tell you what your problem is. I don't know you. I've never looked at your shop. I'm going to tell you what your problem is though. You're not focused. That's the problem. Let me share these next things with you. This is number 5 on my list. You need to focus on one target audience. It is very common for Etsy sellers, especially when they get to this stage of their business that they're starting to see success, that they start to jump around like crazy. Focus. Okay. Now I am a believer, and especially in 2026, that you should have multiple niches in your Etsy shop. So don't hear me saying that you shouldn't have multiple niches. You should. It's called diversifying keywords. It's important. It allows the opportunity for you to target multiple different people selling very similar products. That's what niching does. What I don't want you to do is leave your target audience. Okay, so let's talk briefly what this means. A target audience means I sell stickers, and my stickers are for people who want stickers. They're people who, there's different types of where stickers can go, which is where we would niche. But there's people who are going to put stickers on their car. There's people who are going to put stickers on their water bottle. There's going to be people who put stickers on their notebooks or their laptops. I make that. That's my target audience. Now you can niche. Well, who's putting stickers on water bottles? Probably people who are outdoorsy. Okay, let me make outdoorsy stickers. Boom. Okay, who's putting stickers on the back of their car? Well, probably people who XYZ, I don't know. Boom, off they go. Who's the type of people who are putting stickers on their notepads? Probably students, probably people who are studying specific things, probably people who want to feel a part of a certain club, or boom, off you go. You haven't left your target audience. Your target audience is the person who wants to put a sticker on any of these things, but you've niched differently. And that niche allows you to diversify your keywords, which allows you to be seen more on Etsy. I'm a big believer that most Etsy shops have products in their stores that they can rebrand to different niches. Take a similar product and just move it over with keywords. You don't have to, and changing the photograph is going to be helpful as well. But for the most part, changing the keywords and pushing it more towards a different niche, but staying within the target audience. Don't leave a target audience. I even go as far to say is you should have one target audience forever. Okay, number 6 on my list is you shouldn't be jumping around to find new things to do. You should focus 10 times more on what's already working. I can't tell you how many times I meet with someone and they say, here's what I've got going. Here's what I'm doing. Jered, what do you got for me? I'm ready for these brand new ideas. And I say to them, that seems to be working really well for you. They're like, oh yeah, it's working great. I go, let's do more of it. And they go, I don't know how, or I haven't thought about that. I go, look, let's just do it like this. And they go, oh yeah. And then their Etsy shop grows. There is power at being really good at something and maximizing that effort than there is trying to be okay at a bunch of stuff. So find what's working in your store, 10x what's working, and you will find success that's connected to that. Okay. Now we're in what, 7? Gosh, I gotta look at my list. Yes, we're on number 7. This is when we start to tweak, now we're starting to move into this next grade, okay? Focus on sales. Whoa, Jered, you told me to focus on customers. Look. I don't mean sales like the cha-ching noise. I mean selling. Focus on selling your product. This means by this point in your business, if you're at stage 7, you know what people like. You know what they struggle with. You know why they're choosing you. You know why they wake up on Etsy and search for your products. You know why they choose your products over other people's products. You know what they love. And now is your time to start to sell that to them. Because when someone comes to your shop, if you can sell better than the other shops, you will win. So if you have a product that people like, you have a proven offer that they're taking it from, you have a price point that makes you money and them money, and makes them happy, you can now introduce this principle, which is I am going to sell it better than anyone. Because you no longer have a visibility issue. You're getting traffic that's coming in, and you can run ads, and you have income that's coming in that allows you to put that into ads. So all you need to do is improve your conversion rate and you will grow. And if you improve your conversion rate, Etsy will love you for it. And this is where you get even more organic growth to what you're doing. So focus on sales. There's lots of podcast episodes I have about this in my other episodes that you can check out. That is how you can focus on sales. Okay, so number 8, and this is for now, we're going into the last 3 here. This is for stores that have made it. You are consistent, you are growing, you are busy, you are full-time in your shop, you are working like a dog. How do I grow this thing? The biggest problem that these shops have is that they don't have time to scale because they're fulfilling their product. This is usually what I will do when I come into this. I will raise their prices. This piggybacks off of what we've talked about this whole podcast, which is the more skills that you have, the more you understand, the better you are at selling, the more you can charge. They're buying from you. So I don't want you to think, well, my product hasn't changed or my product is still the same when I was selling it at XYZ. You is what they're buying it from. They're buying from you. Have you changed? And if the answer is yes, I'm way better at this than I used to be, you can charge for that. Okay? 2 things happen when you raise your prices. Number 1 is, 2 things. Number 1, you're going to make more money. That's just, especially if you have the flow. Now, if you raise it an astronomical amount of that becomes unfair, whatever, of course that's going to affect you. But for the most part, bumping your store up a bit, you're going to just see that you're going to make more money. It takes less people to make more money. Number 2, you're going to be told no more often. Sometimes people raise the prices and it just keeps on going. Like, I'm just as busy as I was before. I'm just making more money. But for the most part, when you raise your prices, we do see that does affect a little bit of your conversion. But this is good at this stage of your business because what it does is it allows you to not be running at max, but making the same amount or more money than you were before. I had someone come in the mastermind this year who was selling all sorts of stuff. And I just said to her, raise your prices and start advertising. And she raised her prices and she started advertising, and she's having the biggest months she's ever had in her life because of these 2 things. It just took someone to say, feel confident to raise your prices. And what happened is she raised her prices. She makes more money. She takes the money that she's making, puts it into advertising, and now she's selling more products at a higher price point. Done. Most of you can follow this suit and it will work for you. Now, I want to speak briefly to the mindset of raising your prices. I want you to keep in mind that you is who they're buying. So you have increased value in yourself, and that's what they're buying. The ability for you to fulfill what they need. You can charge for that. And when you charge for that and increase what you're doing, a lot of the times you're filtering out a person who's looking for deals. And when you filter out those people who are looking for deals, you'll find that your customer experience is so much better. Yeah, and there are people who are more committed and wanting a product and what's you're trying to sell, they want, as opposed to I'm just trying to find the cheapest thing available. So when you do that, you'll find that the quality of your own customer service and stuff like that gets a bit easier, not harder. Okay, so now we're going to jump into the last 2 here. These are 2 big ones. I need you to not have a customer be able to say, well, I've bought everything that they have. Well, I guess that's all I can get from this shop. Because keep in mind, once you have trust, once people like you, once people are fans of what you're doing, they want to buy from you. They're choosing you. So it's a mistake when you say, well, that's all I got. Thanks. You instead want to be able to say, oh, Did you want something more? Did you want something more? You will be surprised how many people will say yes. In sales, there's this thing, which is that anytime you open a door, so you ask someone a question and they say yes, you take them into the room and you open another door and allow them to say yes or no. You take them to the room that they feel comfortable in. And so if it's right at the lobby, great. If they keep saying yes, your job is to keep opening doors for them to say yes. This is something that I've talked to some of my mastermind students about. I say, they're buying from you. They trust you. They like what you're doing. Create a product that is absolutely something you don't think someone would buy, that you'd be like, no way is someone going to buy this, and put it up on Etsy. I have someone in my mastermind who sells $1,000 product and are shocked how much they sell it because they open the door. So people who, hey, if you want to buy down here, great. If you want to buy in the middle, great. If you want to buy at the top end, great. If you want to buy the best, great. Are there people wanting to buy the best? The answer is yes. So the mindset I get into is just be comfortable saying, I am willing to put something out that I don't think anyone will ever buy, and put it up. And especially if you're one of these stores that is drowning in orders, you will be surprised. So and you may be thinking, well, what am I supposed to do? A lot of times it's bundles. You could just put everything that you have into one listing and say, go. Yeah. Okay. My last one. You have to be reminded more than you are being taught. I think that when people get to this stage of their business, they also believe, I need to just learn the next thing. And you'll waste a lot of time searching on Instagram for the winning solution. What you instead need is to be reminded of the principles that already are working for you. The stuff you already know. If you are at this stage in your business, you know a lot. You just need to be reminded. So find time in your week. This podcast is great for you, that you'll be able to create reminders for yourself. Okay. That's it. See you guys next week.